Hi everyone, back to the more YouTube channel. It's Chris back with a rumour has it video with a twist, as it is the European Championships going on right now. I'm doing a little rumour has it video on the England manager, somebody who's probably caused a lot of conversation, I'd imagine, around the dinner table, in front of the telly, and certainly in the boozer. So let's get stuck into this one right now. It's Gareth Southgate. You know, people are saying, is this going to be his last tournament? I think that's a speculation. Gareth Southgate was linked to Manchester United for quite a period of time, when it looked like there was basically every single manager in the world was being interviewed for Eric Ten Hag's job while he was on holiday, and they didn't tell him what's going on. It looks like old Ballbag is going to stay at Manchester United now. Make it that what you will, whether people just don't want the Manchester United job under the Mank Mike Ashley. Credit to Newcastle Fan TV for that one. Sir Jim Twatcliffe, that one's mine. He doesn't seem to want to spend any money to get anybody out of release clauses in his contract, like Dan Ashworth. That's right, he's still in the garden. So, yeah, is that the case that Manchester United just couldn't get any fucker, so they stuck with Ballbag? So that's a door closed for Gareth Southgate. But I very much think that the end of the summer, the tournament, I think is going to be the end of Gareth Southgate's time as the England manager. And listen, he's done well as the England manager, right? You can't take that away from him. He picked up England when they were really on their arse, and he's took them to a point, you know, where they got to a final and a semi-final in the last few years. He's playing in the European Championships right now. They're currently top of their group. They haven't been particularly great. You know, a Jude Bellingham bit of brilliance in the first game, you know, and then the second game, you know, a bit ropey, you know, very negative tactics. One of the biggest problems that we've got is he won't play Anthony Gordon, mate. Anthony Gordon wins games, Southgate. Fuck me, just put the lad in the pitch and you might change the whole nation's attitude towards you. But that's not what this video is mainly about. This video is mainly about who is next after Gareth Southgate. And how does that tie in to Newcastle United? Well, it's obvious how it ties in. And it makes me laugh. It never ceases to make me laugh. The mainstream media who constantly tell Newcastle United that Eddie Howe is not good enough for them, that they need a bigger name manager, you know, whether it be Nagelsmann, whether it be Jose Mourinho, you know, fucking whoever, Ancelotti, pull it out your arse. They say all these names and go, Eddie Howe is not the right man. Eddie Howe is the Mark Hughes of Newcastle. Then all of a sudden, Eddie Howe is the fucking saviour for the England national team, and he's the only guy for the job. These bastards will be going into campaign drive pretty soon. Quite poignant that, given the general election soon. They'll be going into campaign mode. Get Eddie Howe the England job. Eddie Howe is the man. Eddie Howe plays attractive football. Eddie Howe plays pressing football. Blah, 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 blah. And all these dicks and talk shite and all the rest of the bollocks that spews out. But I don't think that is going to be the case. I think the stories that are doing the rounds and the rumours that are starting to bubble by some decent, credible journalists, I think, as well, on social media, is I think the next England manager is Graham Potter. You know, Graham Potter hasn't taken a Premier League job. You know, Leicester took Steve Cooper on. That's a weird one for me. Leicester fans, if you are watching, drop us a comment. Are you happy with Steve Cooper? You know, I don't think he's particularly that good, to be fair. I was surprised he didn't take the Wales job. I think that would have been a good job for Steve Cooper. But, you know, there you go. He's taken Leicester on. Doesn't have to move much, does he, really? Because he's been living in Nottingham for the past few years. So maybe it's a nice, convenient job for Steve Cooper and for Leicester. But going back to the England point, Graham Potter didn't take the Leicester job. He hasn't taken any other jobs in between. You know, the biggest mistake that Potter made was going to Chelsea. I said that at the time. I think we were what's going on. I set the mark. It's a terrible move by Potter. I wouldn't go anywhere fucking near Chelsea. It's a managerial graveyard. And that's exactly what happened to Graham Potter. He basically got done over by the Chelsea machine. He was out in his arse. I mean, fuck me. Pochettino got him European football last season, and that weren't good enough. And he walked out the fucking door. So going back to this point, Graham Potter ticks all the boxes, I think, for what England are looking for. They want to keep that kind of, you know, Southgate type feel, you know, in terms of that manager who isn't too old. He's maybe closer to their age than he is to, you know, the FA guys' age that are about 120, I think, most of the old grey-haired bastards that are in there. So they want somebody in that kind of age bracket. They want somebody with that forward-thinking football philosophy, somebody who does things a little bit different. And Graham Potter did amazing things, you know, first over in, it was Norway, wasn't it? Then he came over to Brighton, and he was a fantastic manager. He got Brighton playing unbelievable football. He made international players out of average players. So I think that's the reason why Graham Potter ticks that box. I know Eddie ticks that box as well, but I think Eddie Howe is in a really good position with Newcastle United. He's got so much credit in the bank. His credit score is through the fucking roof. He'd have no problem getting credit with anyone, to be fair, Eddie Howe, because he's done such a good job since he's been at Newcastle. And I think that's the reason why Eddie Howe wouldn't take the England job if things started to turn a little bit sour towards the back end of last season. I know some noises crept in, people saying they weren't very happy and all that stuff. And that's entirely their right. I always say that's your right as a football fan, but not enough fans turn on Eddie Howe to make him think that his job is really under threat here. He knows the pressure. Every manager has pressure. I always say that. But with Graham Potter, he's in a little bit of a managerial limbo right now. He still has a bit of that credibility in terms of, yeah, we know he's a good manager. We know he can do that type of a thing. So I think for Graham Potter, if he takes the England job, maybe takes it for a few years and does well with England, he can go back and get himself a decent club job. For Gareth Southgate, I'm not sure what club job he will get. He might get a decent club job. You never know. He could end up in a decent club job either here or abroad. Who knows? But the last time he was in club management, he was pretty rank average. And if you can't see that England is screaming out for Anthony Gordon on the left-hand side and move Phil Foden in the middle, mate, then you're a shit manager in general, in my opinion. And then he's asking about Calvin Phillips. What the fuck was that? Honestly, England fans, let us know in the comments, what the fuck is this guy talking about? Calvin Phillips, mate, Yorkshire pudding, not Yorkshire Purlo. Unbelievable. Anyway, going back to the main point, I'm digressing. I think it'll be Graham Potter that gets the England job after this tournament's over. I think Southgate will leave. There'll be a little bit of a, love in and well done, Gareth. And depending on how England do, I think they'll definitely get out of the group. They'll probably get past the first stage of the knockouts, maybe go out in the quarters or the semis. I don't think England will win this unless they really turn up the gears and start putting in performances that we know they're capable of. Because right now they look pretty average for that England side, for those levels of quality players that are there. I know I'm Scottish, but I'm just saying they do look really poor for the level of players that are there. You'd expect a hell of a lot more from that England team. I know the defence is ropey, but midfield and up front is probably one of the best in the tournament, to be honest with you, when everybody's fit and at it, but he's just not utilising the players properly. Playing Trent Alexander-Arnold in midfield could be his downfall, really, because that ain't working. When you've got people like Adam Wharton even coming into a job, you've got obviously Cole Palmer and Gordon who need their opportunity as well. Just, unless Southgate suddenly realises what's going wrong and puts it right, then I think his time in England will be done anyway. But let us know in the comments below what you guys think. Are you worried that the FA may come for Eddie Howe? I was the other day, but when I saw the Potter link start to grow, it started making more sense to me that I think Potter will be the man. I don't think Eddie wants the England job. It'll be hard to turn it down, but I don't think he wants it at this particular time of his career. Maybe a few years later, hopefully when he's won Newcastle in the league. But let us know in the comments below what you guys think about this situation. It's an interesting topic for sure. Eddie's name will be linked until Potter does sign the dotted line. And if the FA just announced that, then all that will disappear as well. We don't need that unrest going into next season. But let us know in the comments below what you think. We always like to hear from you. Always do our best to reply to you. If you like this kind of thing, smash subscribe. Help get us to 8K before the season starts. We'd love to get there. Like the video. Help the channel grow. Enjoy the tournament. We'll see you later. Cheers.